All right, guys, Shotty T here. We got another video. It is Christmas Day, multiple ways. Obviously, for those that have been following the World Series of Poker, the grinder, he just ran away with that table. And after he won his bracelet, they immediately sent him to the Hall of Fame. That was just a very surreal, special moment. But I can only imagine how he felt. And then on top of that, transitioning back to this game, it is Hero Day. So everyone's excited about that day, right? But that is not the reason why I'm doing this video. I'm doing this video because Williams' exclusive weapon has arrived. And more than likely, I'm going to get him, but it won't be this week. The earliest I'm going to get him is next week. I got 6 days because I'm just doing a little bit of financial self-control this week. So I've already outspent my budget for the week. So that's how you got to do this game. If you're going to spend money, try to put yourself on a budget. So otherwise, the spending can get out of control. So that said, let's break down Mr. Williams. So just like we did with Adam and with Lucius, we compared their skills before the upgrade and after the upgrade. Now, as I was saying before, Williams is the best defender of the game. If you take exclusive weapons out of the equation, Williams is the best defender of the game. And there's still some arguments that he's probably still the best defender of the game, even with the exclusive weapons factor in. But chances are, with his exclusive weapon now, he's probably going to be by far the most OP defender of the game. But let's look at his skills. So his first skill is nothing to sneeze at. It's just a stun bomb, dealing some small explosive damage, but it doesn't actually stun the opponent. If it stunned the opponent, it'll be great. But it's just regular attack. But then it gets juiced with the other two abilities. So let's look at the first one. After casting the skill, boost the defense of the front two units by 50% for 10 seconds. Now, all these numbers are green, so that's at the maximum of his abilities at level 30. So obviously this scales. But the stars affect the flat rate of the other stuff at the bottom. And obviously, you want to get this guy to 3 stars. So what perfect way to get him there, and we can kind of transition. And we have the Ghost Ops event. So the Ghost Ops event, you just want to, obviously it's RNG, which 2 tasks you get. I was able to get this one, and you can't control what you get. The game just dictates what you get. But by these basic ones, you get 2 shards of the character. You only need 10 to form a new character. All right. And then if you join the ally team, sometimes they'll have starred ones. Here's a perfect one right here. Let's go ahead and join that. Oops. Quick deploy. We'll do that. So when you join these start tasks, by the way, you get 10 drone parts and you get 5 of that character. And then on top of that, you get a chance to get some of these items. So this is the best way to get shards of a hero, either that you don't have at all or to get more stars, to get more versions of them so you can slowly but surely get more stars. But the cool thing about Williams, he is in the recruit hero. So, and plus you can put a wish list item to get him if you like. So there are different ways to get him, because you definitely want to get him the 3 stars. But for the sake of the exclusive weapon, you want to get him to 5 stars. I'm just jumping all over the place. So the 3-star version, this skill applies to the entire squad. So there's a 10% boost to whatever that 50% number for 1 star. Then you get another 10% on top of that for the 4-star version. Obviously, you get 18 seconds when you get the 2 stars. When you get the 5 stars, it jumps up another 10 seconds. So, but the 3 stars, the one that you want to have, effect applies to the entire squad, not just by the first 2 units. So you get instant defense, and you get like that aura that goes around your team. It's like a little blue aura. It's like a little shield. Now this right here, reduce all damage taken in battle by 30% for this hero. So that makes him individually more tanky. So that's obviously that's just a solo effect. But now let's look at the exclusive weapon. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go back, and we're just gonna click on this. First, we're gonna look at the visuals. So let's look at the visuals. So the first one got a little tank, little action there. Now I don't know if he can top Adam because Adam had this little transformer mastodon looking thing. I don't know if he could top it. So all his tanks look pretty basic. So I guess if you're going to be the best defender of the game, I guess they're going to have to sacrifice your looks because these are not the most impressive graphics for him. But let's look at level 30. At level 30, you got a little bit of transformer action there, but it's not too interactive. But it's something. But it's like looks don't matter, man. It's all about performance. That's basically what they're trying to get at. So let's look at the performance. All right, first skill, Stunned Bomb 2. So now they're going to affect that upper left-hand corner. So let's see. Deals damage equals to a certain percent of the attack to one enemy unit. And after every 2 auto attacks, inflicts overwhelm to the enemy's front row hero with the lowest defense for 1.3 seconds. So it has overwhelm with an underline, so we just click on it to define what that is. And let's see. Overwhelmed targets cannot perform auto attacks, excluding counter attacks. So it doesn't affect Adam, because obviously that counter attack, and then also it doesn't affect people that are in the front row that benefits from Adam with the counter attack. So it seems like Adam is still holding his own with his skills there, but auto attacks. Some people got auto attacks that do some things. So he does nullify for that at least. But that's not the most impressive skill. But let's look at the nuts. Let's look at the next one. So let's look at the next one. The 10th one is always the one that usually impresses on most of these heroes. So let's look at it. All right. Fire Lockdown. After using his tactics, inflicts overwhelm to the enemy's back hero with the highest defense for 4 seconds. So basically, your tankiest person that's on the back row, it could be another defender, or it just could be your tankiest attacker. So this could be targeted towards a DVA that usually is pretty tanky as an attacker on the back row. So this overwhelm thing is basically that now her auto attacks, if it affects an attacker, overwhelm auto attack abilities, then you're talking about some serious situation where they can't get off their big damage. So that is pretty effective. So it's a very simple skill, but that overwhelm, it seems like it's gonna come key in a lot of cases where people cannot get off their big attacks. So let's look at the third one. Obviously, it's just like everyone else, 7.5% for that class type. So tank heroes get all of that. Now let's look at level 30, the one I probably won't get to until 2030. But let's see. Iron Will number 2. So this sounds like something that's super tanky just by the description. But let's read it. Increases your troops' defense by 55% for 10 seconds and increases the energy damage taken by all enemies by 12% for 4 seconds. So let's read this again. Increases your troops' defense for 10 seconds and increases the energy damage taken by all enemies by 12%. So basically, this is indirectly helping someone like Kimberly or Stedman because they deal energy damage. So that means they're going to take even more damage and at the same time get more defense. So it's like a attack defense type of mechanism. So it's similar to Adam's level 30 where there's an attack element and a defense element to this. So that's pretty cool. But let's see if it shows the stuff in action. So let's look at it here. All right. So there's a little shield in the front row. So that lets you know when they have their extra defense there. So there's the little visual. And I guess we got a little bunch of zombies just kind of looking the way they look. Okay, so anytime you want to see what a visual, just click on that play button. It'll show you what it does. So overall, these skills, like, they're not like flashy like Lucius and Adam, but they're effective enough to where it could be the difference in the key to battle. But let's just call it for what it is. They did not want to make this guy's exclusive weapon too overwhelming, because if it was too overwhelming, and that's the reason why I guess why they got this overwhelming. If it was too overwhelming, he'll just be OP over the top, the best defender of the game. Now this right here is probably going to break the overall tie between him, Adam, and Lucius as being the top defender in the game, but it's not by a whole lot, because like I said, these skills aren't the craziest upgrade. So you can probably get by without getting this if you don't want to get it. But at the same time, I mean, if you're a collector, I'll probably do a separate video that's going to rank all the exclusive weapons for all the heroes and who benefits the most from it. Actually, there might be 2 videos, because that's just going to be a lot to talk about on those. I don't want to take too long, because where we are now, we officially have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oops, I think I miscounted there. 4 on the first row, 3 on the second, 3 on the third before Williams, and then 1 on the fourth. So that's 11. So Williams will be the 12th hero that we have the exclusive weapon unlocked for. So we're going to rank those 12, and then we'll probably do a separate video on who benefits the most. Now, some of them might intertwine with each other, because I like to talk. And then the only ones that have not been released are Morrison, Stedman, Fiona. Those are the other legendary heroes, because keep in mind the other ones are converted ones that used to be epic heroes. And again, this is a timeline based mechanism. So if you don't see Williams because he's not in your timeline, for me, this is season 4, day 39 when this takes place officially. So just keep that in mind. That's when Williams' exclusive weapon unlocks. So just make sure you always check the timelines whenever I talk about stuff in these videos. So what do you guys think about the Williams exclusive weapon? Like I said, I'm not gonna get it this week. I'm not really running down the pushing through the door to get it, to be honest with you. But for the sake of the content, I'll get it, but it won't be till next week. So that'll do it, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll talk to you later.